I'm here. I'm here. Red. Red. I'm here, Red. I can't hear him. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Communications. All right. Okay.
Okay, Red. That okay.
All
Shoot,
right.
what
Great.
happened?
There's a. I had to go into the audio, and it was a setting on the audio that I had to go and adjust the setting of which out. Yeah, it was the output on there. So yeah.
Okay.
So sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. We still, like I said, we're still trying to get our sea legs on the show.
Sounds like my
I'm
first show.
yeah. Lou, I'm glad you are here, brother. Thanks for joining the
Nice
Bread
to
and
be
Hope
back,
show,
man.
man.
I thought I was gone forever.
Oh no, not at all, not at all, man.
Oh, great.
We're
Okay.
glad to have you here. Look, we talking about a whole bunch of stuff, man, and
Obviously.
yeah, man. So just real quick, non-sports related stuff. I'm telling everybody. I just got my first colonoscopy last week, and I urged
Good.
guys. Yeah, it was yeah. I urged guys to get it.
Join the
I
club.
read it.
Join the club.
Yeah, man. I look, man. I ran away from that process for years, but I couldn't run away from it anymore. And so I finally got it done this past weekend, and I came out okay. So I got to go back in another 5 years. So I just urge guys, if you haven't done it,
Look, at least
go
I'm going to
do
do tomorrow.
it. Yeah,
At least you got another 5 years. You'll have to do it like I guess tomorrow. So,
I know, right?
yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm happy
Look at
because
that.
of that. Oh yeah, it's that. So real quick, man, I talked a little bit about there's a
Yeah.
cell phone ban here in Marietta, Georgia, for elementary and middle school kids. And I think it's going to spread to high schoolers and in other jurisdictions because kids are
Yeah.
too distracted in school and teachers it's very
That is the
difficult.
problem.
Yeah. And so
That is a big problem.
they're going to take their phones and put them in these interesting packages and lock them up and give it back to them at the end of the day. Most parents love it. A few parents are just kind of like, well, what if there's an emergency? Well,
That's another problem too. You gotta look at it that way too. I mean, yeah, it does distract you, but on the other hand, you never know when an emergency is gonna happen. So,
yeah,
that's the controversy of the whole thing. You know, or at least if there's an
yeah,
emergency,
and I think, but
have somebody notify the kids.
Yep. So if there's an emergency, I mean, it's kind of like when we were in school. I mean, if there's an emergency, I mean, they'll unlock the phone, they'll find the phone, unlock it, and let them do what they got to do. Problem solved, or you just, they will send it to the principal's office or have the principal come down. Some the emergencies happen from time to time when we were in school, and we found out how to deal with it without cell phones.
Right.
But I just thought it was interesting. Yeah. So look, Lou, the Braves took the series against the Yankees last weekend.
I know.
And so I was a little nervous at first. That's okay. We were on the road.
I mean, I know Acuna is not playing for the rest of the year, but I mean, you got to rely more than Acuna because you guys are struggling right now against the Phillies, who've been phenomenal this year. I mean, you guys got to come with some, and now even the Mets are catching up. I mean, the Mets. Sorry, Dad.
Yep. Understand. No problem. We call it much worse here in Atlanta. So we call them the mess.
Enough said.
But you're right. I mean, Ozuna and we need more offense than that. And I think that I think Riley. I think he finally came. I think his bats finally woke up over this past weekend. And so, but the pitching was pretty good. We winning kind of ugly, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And so it was pretty.
Speaking of the Mets, just a little, my stupid humor into the show. They have probably the two worst theme songs that were ever produced by a sports team. Not just baseball, but sports in general. Meet the Mets in 1962. That's one of them. But I can't believe I bring this up. Oh no. Okay, this goes back to my youth now, Brad. I'm 54 years old. I'm 54, but I remember back in 1976 with the Nets theme song. You guys ready?
Yeah.
It's the New Jersey Nets. Come and see the New Jersey Nets. I think it's sick.
And the crazy thing, every time the Mets come down here to play, we mess with them with that song. We got a whole new lyric to that song. I can't say it over air right here, but it's a whole new one, man.
Sorry, kids, it's not for you.
Yeah, it's not for kids, but the kids at the stadium, they know it.
Yeah.
Oh man, but look, man, the Olympics. I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics, Lou.
The trials, yes.
A lot of the trials and the track and field, and the qualifying for that. And so that's been pretty interesting over the weekend. Actually, the past couple of days. And Sha'Carri, she's doing this thing. She's doing her thing, and she looks focused. A couple of years back, she had a little trouble. Yeah, she was focused. She's focused now. You gotta be.
Let's see. We're June 26th. So we've got 27 days before the first event. Not opening ceremonies, but the first event. Because remember, they do have events before the actual opening ceremonies begin. I don't know why they do that, but they do. They've done it since 1984 in the Winter Olympics in 92. I think 88 or 92 in the Summer Olympics.
Yep.
Nothing new.
So yeah, man. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape for that. Team USA, the soccer team, we beat Bolivia 2-0. We look pretty good, and rumor has it this is probably one of the best teams that we've had in recent years. What's that, Lou?
Can we beat Panama tomorrow?
I don't know. We're gonna find out if they're that team, they will beat Panama tomorrow. That I don't know. Every time they hype them up, you remember when Alexi Lawless and Dempsey and all those guys played? They were hyped up too.
I remember when they were in MLS.
Yeah.
But the big shock of the day probably that my girl is not going to be in the women's tournament. Hova's here.
I got on. Yeah, I got you. Yes, I can.
My girl is not going to be. It's not going to be in. Is at the Olympics this year. She's not going to be in.
Yo, can y'all see me?
Who's not? Yeah, we can see you and hear you.
Alex Morgan. He's not going to.
What's going on, Hover?
I'm out on the balcony, man.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm on vacation, but hey, I had to come in and say hello. Shout out to Lou. Thanks, Lou, for joining the show tonight, man. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for. I'm finally glad got to be back here. It's been too long. Well, long enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to welcome my homeboy G Roan. George Roan is on. He's listening to the show tonight. So we got some new eyes and ears to the show. He's been listening from time to time in a while anyway. So he's part of the Bread and Hope family too, and responds from time to time on the Facebook page. So we got a full house tonight, so to speak. So good deal, man. I'm enjoying this. So Hover.
Yo.
Hey, so where are you?
Oh man, I'm in Orlando, man.
Oh, that's right. That's right, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, I'm down here with Mickey and Minnie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where's Goofy?
Never mind. You're looking at it.
They're gonna say me, but no, you probably do something pseudo.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Yeah, so, good stuff.
Yeah, but I'll be back. I'll be back coming back tomorrow.
Okay, good deal, man. Good deal. That's awesome, man. You know, having a good time. I gotta do the same thing, man.
Almost like Sam Jackson. I never noticed that, Hope. I never knew you like Samuel L. Jackson.
You don't cuss like, and you don't cuss like him though. Not anymore.
Nobody does.
Well, that's the truth. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But look, guys. We'll talk just briefly about Alex Morgan, and but the thing about U.S. women's team, you know, I think it's time. I'm kind of happy about it. She's done her bidding. I think it's time for these girls, for these young ladies to gel together. I thought that when it was a mix, you know, and there was a kind of a transition period a few years back with, you know, the old guard and the vets really, and the new girls coming on. I thought they were good, but I don't think the chemistry was there. And you remember we talked about this on the show, guys, and I told you when we won a game, I forgot who we beat. I think it was like 4-0 or something like that, but it should have been like 8-0. It's like, man, I say, guys, when you're that good, style points matter. And they did not get the style points, and it came back to haunt them later on because it was the chemistry. The team chemistry was just not there. And so I think that with the younger team, they're coming back. They got some new players there. I think we're going to be back on top. I think the team's going to be back. So I think the women's team's going to be good. However, we were just talking about just before you came on about the men's team's going to be playing in the A tomorrow, and against Panama. So I'll leave the floor to you in terms of who do you have in that game tomorrow, Panama, and who you think's gonna win? I'll put it that way.
I mean, I gotta go with USA, man. I mean, they got the talent. You know, we talked about this, Brad. I mean, they got the talent, man, to compete. So I'm going with USA, even though you know how I feel about Panama, but
yeah. Okay.
Where's Panama?
So
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, okay. Okay. I don't know, man. I can't call it, man. I mean, I'm going for the USA, and I hope that they win. I put it that way. That goes without saying, but I think, I just think that, I think we got a good chance of winning.
Got the Buc-ee's cup.
Oh, you finally got the Buc-ee's? Oh, yeah, finally.
Okay.
Buc-ee's is a big thing around here, Lou. It's whenever you get one, man, change your life, man. So change your life, man. I'm serious.
That was a 90s.
No. Look, man, let's talk some basketball, guys. And I think before you jumped on, Hover, we were talking some basketball. We're talking about the Hawks' first pick, you know, and how everybody feels about that pick. Everybody's gonna feel a certain way about the pick. I get it. But you know, with Rosh Shea, that wasn't my first choice, guys. But I don't know what you think about it, Hope. I'm gonna let you spit on that one. What you got on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I wasn't too surprised that they went with picking the guy. But you know what's interesting though? I mean, he didn't really want to play with the Hawks.
Why not?
Yep.
I don't know, man. I have no idea why he doesn't want to play with the Hawks.
I can tell you what I know or what I heard. His reasoning for not playing for the Hawks wanted him to play the 5 position. They wanted him to play the center position.
Okay.
He's tall, but he's not a center. And so what I mean by that, look at like somebody like KD, for instance. You know, and so KD is not a 5, but you know, he's a 3. Or he can play the 4. But he's definitely not a 5. And so for his game, so his agent is kind of, look, man, we got to put you in the best situation so that you can be successful. And the best way for you to be successful is to go to somebody who can use your talents. You know, they'll have you at the 3 position most of the time, maybe the 2 at times. Because KD has played the 2. And I hate to compare him to KD, but that's kind of the best comparison I can have in terms of, well, would you draft KD when he came out of Texas to play the 5? No, you wouldn't do that. You know, or you would just change your scheme to whatever he wanted to do, which is all the Hawks had to do. Because, you know, Quinn Snyder's ain't all that. He's not, you know, he's not a legendary coach to where he can do that. So Sarr didn't want to play the 5. Hawks are going to draft him for that. And with that being said, no, I'm not going to the Hawks workout. Why work out when I know this is not going to work? And it's nothing to do with the city, because I know some people kind of thought that Sarr felt some kind of way about Atlanta. No, he played from overtime elite, which is here in Atlanta. And so, you know, so it's Atlanta. The city wasn't the problem. It was the scheme. And it was the ownership here, not the ownership, but the management here. It's like, look, no, you gonna, if we draft you, that's what we want you to do. And so that wasn't in Sarr's best interest. And so it's like, no, I'm not going to the workout. And so everybody kind of took that, you know, as a slight, but it wasn't, because he's not a 5. He's tall, but he's not a 5. And and his game then is not a 5. Now he's maybe a 4 or 3, mostly a 3. 3 or 4, and the Hawks weren't trying to put him in that slot, and so that's a lot of that was about that. And Washington Wizards, they like, well, you play whatever you want to play here, 1 through the 5, whatever you want to do is open. And so, but he was pretty good. I thought the Hawks should have kind of rolled the dice on him and say, hey, we'll put you in the 4 slot and see what happens in the 3 if it works. You know, you build around players like that. You don't say, well, we got to. You're not Boston. You're not Denver, the way you have a system that really works. You really don't have a system. You got Trey and DeJounte. They bring the ball down the court. They do yada yada yada, and you know, it's not really too much of a set system. We need somebody in the paint. We need a rim protector. We need somebody in the paint who can block shots, take up some space down there in the box, play both ends of the court. Kind of a guy. Clint Capella is not it anymore. Kwandu, I don't know about that. You know, he all right. You know, and so, you know, then you got a small team. So now with this guy that we drafted, as a small forward, you got another small team. You know, even though the guy plays some decent defense on both sides of the court, but I mean, you know, it's going to take him too long to develop. He got to get some meat on his bones. He's too small. It's just a lot about this guy that you know, that just really doesn't fit the Hawks. Because what's the three we have? Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson is ready. I like Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson, he's the better out of the two. This guy's gonna be on the bench for a whole year unless Jalen gets hurt. I don't know, man. I don't. You know, I don't feel good about the pick at all.
Well, you know, my thing is, why wouldn't just go with a big man? Why wouldn't just go with the guy to produce?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, he didn't have to play the 5; he can play the 4.
I mean, he's ready to play. I think Edey's ready to play.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The problem, you tell Edey. Oh, well, the problem with Edey is he's an old school throwback center, and what that means is, you know, for the NBA game, it won't translate as well because it's an up and down game.
Right.
It's a fast moving game, and I just think he's too slow for the NBA to start in the NBA game. Now, I think there's a place for him in the right system, the right scheme. There's a place for him, but for the Hawks are an up and down team. They're not a half court team, and it's not a whole lot of half court teams nowadays. But Hawks definitely not a half court team, and so you can get Edey, but at number 1, I would have traded back or something to try to get Edey. He would have still been there, but he's big, but I don't think he moves well on the NBA game. That's just my thought based on what I've seen him do at Purdue for many years, man. But he's a good player. He's a very good player. I mean, he's better than what we have for what it's worth, you know. But
you know, I get what you're saying, Brad. But I think he would have worked out pretty good, man. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I like Clingan better. I'm gonna go with Jerome. That's on the chat line, and I'm gonna go with Clingan. I like him much better than Edey. Out of UConn, he's a 7-footer. Guy moves better than Edey up and down the court. He's a rim protector. He can catch some alley-oops from Trey. I mean, you know, he's a traditional 5. That's who the Hawks need. They need a 5. They need a solid center. And he worked out for the Hawks. That's the guy you want. And he's more court ready to play than Rochester. Just my opinion from what I've seen. Just the film that I've seen. You know, so I like UConn's big man. That's who we should have gone with if you did not want to go with Sarr. And he would have fit perfectly well here in Atlanta. I think we missed the boat. Hawks gonna hawk every time. I'm you know, sick of being in the back seat dealing with the Hawks and fudging up picks every year. And our front office is so bad in Atlanta.
Yeah.
As good as Wemby was last year, and if the Hawks had the number 1 pick last year, we would not have picked Wemby.
Right.
That's how bad the front office is.
I mean, this is the second year in a row that the top pick came from France. Yeah. There must got to be there's got to be some kind of connection here. I mean, you know, are the French players just that good, or are we just that bad? We can't get, you know, a top pick from the States anymore. I mean, the best we did was, I think, 3rd. You know, have the European players, you know, just taken over?
The short answer is yes. But I think it's a bigger thing than that, Luke. My thought is this: it's systemic in terms of basketball between the pros and college. I think the one and done is hurting the pros.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I think that players look at the women's compared to the men's game. The women play 4 years. You know who they are, and so when the draft comes up for the WNBA, you know them. You know them. You've seen them play. Now
and I got a good pick for next year's draft.
Yeah, look,
for the women. I got the men. Pick for the women. Yeah,
check it out. The men's game. You don't know who they are. Number one, you don't know, and you learn who they. The ones that you do know, you learn them through March Madness, through a couple of months out of a year, and that's it. And you got the one and done players. You need players whether they play 2-3 years college or whether they play 2-3 years for G League or overseas. American players need to be more seasoned. They go through this AAU stuff like they're ready, and they're coming up and they're failing. Look, man, these guys need to play 2-3 years on an amateur level at least before they get drafted. That's the problem with the draft. That's the problem with the NBA. That's the problem with these 2 to 3 years to develop. That's the problem.
I got a good pick for next year's WNBA draft.
Who you got?
Paige Bueckers, or is it Beckers? I can't remember.
Beckers. It's Beckers. Beckers out of
UConn.
Yeah, out of UConn. Yep.
One of my favorite players.
Yep. Beckers is the truth.
She's great.
Beckers is the truth. She is very good. She is solid.
Yes, she is.
But I like Juju out of USC too. I like her too.
Juju Schuster.
Yeah.
You play basketball now? Okay.
No, the other Juju.
Wrong Juju. Okay.
Wrong Juju. It's the other Juju. It's the other Juju on the West Coast.
No.
She is really, really good. So I think you're right. Beckers, and it's a couple of others too that's on the tip of my tongue. But you're right, Lou. Yeah. But Lou just made an excellent point about the women's game. We can name players. I can't name a player on the men's game. I can't name one.
Except for Zach Edey.
Well, he's gone.
Yeah.
He just got drafted. So I don't know. I can't name not one player coming up in the college.
Like when we were young, isn't it? When we were young, when the draft came, we could name them all. Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley. Not that I want to name anyway, but MJ, Michael Jordan, they were biggest because they stayed there. They didn't jump in the chance like, well, let's see, I had a good freshman year. I think I'm ready to go pro. Yeah, you think so, huh? No. And no one knows who you are because you didn't get a chance, we didn't get a chance to know you as a college player. You just took the chance of one and done. It wasn't like that back in the 70s and 80s. That's how they got to be good college players because they stayed in college. And then, 4 years, then you got the pros. And we knew who you were. But now you don't want to do that anymore. You want instant fame. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work, man. I mean, and that's a problem for me. And until the NBA realizes that, I mean, you're going to continue to, and they're trying to draw this thing out, make it a thing. It's like 2 nights, and they're making it a thing. It doesn't matter. We barely know the guys in the first round, and only one you probably gonna, and probably the only reason they're doing it this year is because of Bronny James. You see if he's gonna get drafted in the second round.
He'll get drafted in the second round. He's not gonna get drafted in the first round at all. Not a chance.
No, he's not going tonight.
Get out of here.
No, he's not. He's not going tonight.
Get out of here.
Man, I tell you.
In that case, they'll call him Phony James. Oh. Okay. Sorry, LeBron.
And look, man, everybody knows that, the Lakers got their eyes on him, and that's what everybody wants to see, the father and son duo coming up. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants to see. And so, I think it happens. I think the Lakers pick him up. I think the Lakers pick him up. Yeah. So who's going to get traded? Is it going to be DeJounte or Trae Young?
I think it's going to be Trae Young.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Trae Young.
Yeah, that's like the second time I've heard today.
Yeah.
Hope. So if and I'm not mad about that. I like Trae, but if Trae gets traded, I'm not mad about that because Trey DeJounte fits better in a system. He's more disciplined to play in a system than Trey. Trey can score, and and he's gonna get you, 30 points, and 10 assists a game, high assists at least. But with him playing within a system, I don't know, man. It just hadn't been working for 6 years. I thought he'd be a little bit more disciplined with the system here. But I don't know. But it's not all Trey, in my opinion. I don't think the Hawks have done the best job in building around Trey. I think that's the bottom line. I don't. Right. So I think that I think Jerome said Murray's gonna be the one to get traded. So it could be. Either or. It could be. They both give you a lot of production. The worst part about the backcourt in Atlanta is that we couldn't find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
The guys keep bumping into each other, and so it's like, okay, either Trey gets all the way out the way for DeJounte, or DeJounte gets all the way out of the way for Trey to do his thing. And and so it's like, well, he's off. I guess I got to clock in tonight. And so instead of both of them getting 20 a night, 20 and something a night, they don't. Trey will get 30, and then DeJounte will get like 14, or DeJounte will get 30, Trey will get like 17. So it's like,
yeah. It's I don't think it's. Something got to give. Is either one of them gonna get traded, no doubt about that.
Yeah. I think that's where you are. You got to get those picks back too. You lost your first round pick. I think we gave up too much on DeJounte Murray. I like DeJounte, but I think we gave up too much for him. Now you got to get those picks back by getting rid of one of those guys. Sorry, it is what it is. And that DeAndre Hunter's not coming back.
Right.
Clint Capella, I don't think he's coming back. And Bogey, I don't think Bogey's coming back. I don't think he is. So there are a couple of players. This team won't look the same this year. So expect it. So that's the life of a Hawk fan, Lou. We got situations, man.
Well, you could be worse. You could be a Pistons fan. Oh.
Yeah, okay. They don't have a coach yet. That is true.
Hello there.
They do not have a coach.
No.
So no.
Not much of a team either.
No. Neither. No. So yeah, man. So I just think that, and I tell a lot of people, and we talked about it on the show before, is if Trey played for the Mavs and we had Luka, I think you've been in the same boat in terms of building around a player. I think Dallas knows how to build around players a lot better than Atlanta. I think building around star players the right way. Dallas caught on to it a lot faster than Atlanta. Atlanta just had they thought they were doing it by getting DeJounte and stuff, but it just didn't work out. So, and we gave up too much for him. So there's that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So what are the Knicks looking like, Lou?
Well, I haven't heard any of their picks yet, but I think we're just gonna get one good pick away, and then I think we'll be in contention maybe for the finals next year. And depending on who we get for a trade, because we're just so close to it. Last year, and we are very competitive, in the East, but we just need that one extra player to help us get to the finals.
Yeah.
We're one player away.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot. The good thing about the NBA, I can say, is that there's a lot of parity in the NBA right now. Meaning that you don't have any repeat champions. You don't have the dominance. I think the last dynasty, if you want to call them a dynasty, would be Golden State Warriors. Winning 3 out of 4 4 out of 5, 3 out of 4, something like that. And oh yeah, they came out. You had the Bulls, and you had the Lakers won some, and Boston won some more. But after that, it was really just the Golden State was just kind of running things the most recently in terms of a dynasty. But outside of that, everybody won. The Lakers win one. They got a bubble championship, and Denver got one, and you got Boston just got one, and so so yeah. So I think that
have you forgotten how much I hate the Celtics?
Look, man, I'm not a fan either, man. I mean, the Celtics broke our heart so many times, man. Celtics broke our heart so many times.
I swear I wanted just to go straight right to Vomit City when they in Game 5.
Yeah. So I get it. I get it, man. So not that happy. And think about it for us, man, because it's like you had to choose between Boston or Luka. And you got, everybody. I mean, everybody already thinks that Dallas got the better. That Atlanta messed up, and Dallas got the better player, and Luka's better than Trey. And then to have Luka win a championship on top of that, oh man, that would have been more than salt to the wound, man. That would have been just like acid in the wound.
Yes.
It would have been horrible. That would have been horrible, man. It would have hurt so bad. So I almost kind of like, well, okay, Boston won. Well, at least Brown is from Atlanta, so we'll take that. We'll take that. Yeah. He's from the A. We'll take it. So with that, man, I think we're good to go on that, man. Jeez, man. So we got about a good 4 minutes left in the show, man. We got about a good 4 minutes. Lou, close us out, brother. Take us home, man.
All right, Enhanced Sports Show. We keep on rolling, no matter what time of year it is. The number to call is 512-543-4662. 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget, check us on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in the Enhanced Sports Show, and you'll hear the show in its entirety. We're going to cover the NBA. The NHL Finals Game 7, which was a doozy. If you saw it, great. If you didn't see it, shame on you. We'll also cover both the NHL and NBA drafts, which are going on a few days apart. The NHL awards, which will be happening too. You got soccer? Hey, we got soccer covered. Got the Euro Championships going on, and our version, the Copa Cup. I said Copa, not Copacabana, so keep that in mind.
Copa America.
Of course, MLB, WNBA as well. And for you, of course, you wrestling fans out there, we do have UFC and WWE. We'll also have, of course, your thoughts and comments. The ridiculous round of the week, sports trivia this week in sports history, and of course, that time of the month we have the best and the worst, and with the best and worst of June, because what a month this has been. And if you think that's something, wait till July. So don't forget 4 to 6 Eastern Time, Saturday, 512-543-4662 is the number. I hope to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we'll do, Lou. We'll do.
It's nice to be back.
Oh, we're glad to have you back, Lou. We were missing you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Lou. We missed you, man. So we're glad to have you back in the saddle. We're glad to have G-Rone up in here. G-Rone join the show.
Is there going to be a show next Wednesday? Because I know it's going to start the 4th of July holiday weekend. So is there going to be a show next week?
Hover?
Yes.
Yep, we got a show next week. Yep.
All right.
Yep, we're doing it next week.
Okay, so, I'll do what I can, because I don't know if we'll be here or not, but I'll try and make it.
We'll be glad if you can, Lou. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Thanks. Nice to be home.
Yes, sir. So
good night.
Good night. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for us for tonight. Hope I'm glad you was able to make it, brother. I know you had the vacation going.
Yes, sir.
Going smooth.
I had to give you some time, man, to support the Braden Hover show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's what's good, man. So that's awesome. And we'll get back to it next week like we normally do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, till next week, everybody. Speak on it.
Speak on it.